Hi, everybody. Namaste. That's pretty cool. I've also learned, this is a quick Hindi lesson, in case some of you don't know Hindi. I also know Namaskar. Is that like more respectful? That's good. I also learned how to say, hi, my name is Bart. Let's see if I can get this correct. Mera naam Bart hai. Oh, yeah. Oh, so good. So impressive. First word that I learned that was really important on Sunday when we did the CNCG Delhi meetup was Gora, which is white boy, I think. That's correct. It's really important too. Really important to be self-aware. We'll get into a few other things about Hindi later on, but Anushka, obviously my co-speaker, is much more versed in Hindi than I am. I just want to say it is such a pleasure to be here in India. It's my first time. I just want to give all of you a round of applause for the amazing, welcoming, warm energy you've been giving me. It's super, super good. It's really good to be here. A lot of people have been asking me how long I'm going to be staying. I got here on Saturday. I'm leaving tomorrow, unfortunately, but this is going to be the first of many trips that I'm taking to India. I will be back in April. I'll be in Nepal for 2 weeks. I'll be doing an event there. And of course, I will be submitting lots of CFPs and hopefully getting accepted so I can be in Hyderabad in August. Is anyone here from Hyderabad? Just checking the audience. Cool. That's good. That being said, today's presentation, if you saw the title, is called Rapper's Delight. And I'm really, really excited to do this. It's been a while since I've been on stage, and I'm extra excited to be sharing the stage with one of my favorite people who I've met since I got started in the cloud native ecosystem. Her name is Anushka. This is the first time she's going to be giving a talk in front of this many people in person, so can we please give her a round of applause as well? So, if you want to follow along with the slides, you can check out the QR code right here. It's pretty easy. We'll also be sharing it with everybody online. But you'll see it's not terribly complicated. We want this session to be dynamic and interactive so as many people can participate as possible. And of course, we'll be afterwards happy to continue the conversation with all of you. Cool. Next slide. So, like I said, this is a hip-hop journey through cloud native. My name is Bart Farrell. I have the pleasure of working at Learn Kubernetes. I also run the podcast called KubeFM. If I haven't given you a sticker already, I've got plenty here. So yeah, check out KubeFM. It's a wonderful podcast. So in terms of the things that I do, I told her I was going to do this already, which is a bad move because the camera's over there, but I really like walking around. I also have ADHD. So in terms of things that I do, I create content. I'm the vivacious voice of KubeFM, as I already mentioned. It's my podcast. I am here because of Indian people. Now, what do I mean when I say that? So back in 2020, in the pandemic, in August of 2020, I was given the opportunity to start running the Data on Kubernetes community. Has anybody ever heard of the Data on Kubernetes community? Maybe, yes, no, okay. So I was leading that community for 3 years, from 2020 to 2023. And the whole reason why I got started, has anyone heard of a technology called OpenEBS? Maybe, not many hands because it's been archived, but they're going to bring it back. Well, that technology, OpenEBS, was primarily driven by a company called Maya Data, right? And Maya Data, it was a company that was acquired, but was based in Bangalore. Anyone from Bangalore? Maybe? Got some hands? Cool. You may know a wonderful person who lives in Bangalore. His name is Kiran Mova, and he now works at VMware. He's a wonderful person. And it was because of him and all the hard work being done by his staff that they decided that they wanted to start the Data on Kubernetes community. And I was given the opportunity to lead that community, so I'm internally indebted to people from India because of that. Also, fun fact about me is that I come from a completely non-technical background. I'm always proud to say this. I mentioned in the meetup last week on Sunday that I have never written a line of code in my life. And to be 100% honest, I'm not sure if that's really going to change too much in the near future. But why do I say that? It's because there are lots of different ways that you can get involved. And that's what we're going to be speaking about in our talk. My background, academically speaking, comes from the world of religious studies. I know it sounds a little bit strange, but I got my degree in religious studies because I was interested in different cultures, and one of those cultures happened to be India. So I'm going to be mentioning a little bit about some of the elements of things that I learned about Indian religious traditions, and how those can also relate to the different elements of getting involved in cloud native. Okay? In terms of things that I've done, hosted lots of live streams, done lots of podcasts. I've been a CNCF ambassador since 2021 and doing meetups since 2015, speaking at different KubeCons. That being said, now I'm going to turn it over to my co-speaker, Anushka.
Namaste, everyone. So this is the first time I'm going to speak in person. So it is altogether a very great experience for me being here right now. And talking about myself, I am a recent graduate. And as a very favorite person of mine says, Jen, her name is Jen, I'm enjoying fun employment right now. So I've been a contributor to a few of the CNCF projects. I got into the CNCF ecosystem because of one and only the man of the hour, Bart. And I was a part of the Data on Kubernetes community. I got involved in the DOK Explorers Day, which is their annual event. I did some volunteering and attended the sessions. From there, I got to know how things work, and I explored more, and here we are. So I've been a mentee previously at one of the mentorship programs that is conducted by CNCF, the CNCF Zero to Merge program. And I've been a part of this OpenSearch contributor initiative as well, which is OpenSearch is now taken up by Linux Foundation. Earlier, it was under Amazon. And I've previously interned at a company called Bosch. So this would be the agenda for today. We'll be firstly getting introduced to how we are relating the components of hip-hop with cloud native. And then we'll move on to how are the different ways that we can contribute to the community, the ecosystem. And we're so sorry about the rap part, because I think my throat won't work well, so we're not going to do the rap. But
I've been doing some deep breathing outside in the fresh Delhi air. But depending on how the crowd goes, if you behave, we'll behave. All right? So, like I said, it's a mutual relationship here.
So, a lot about the agenda. Let's move on forward.
Cool.
Over to you.
So, hip hop with cloud native. What's the deal with this? Why are we combining these two things? How many of you listen to hip hop? Anybody? Cool. We know where hip hop comes from. It comes from New York originally. The first hip hop song that was ever recorded officially was Rapper's Delight, which is why we had the title. It was recorded in 1979 by a group called the Sugar Hill Gang. Now, since then, hip hop has evolved massively all across the world. Yesterday, when I was at the party organized by Devtron, was anybody there? I think we set a record for like the largest number of people dancing in a KubeCon party. It normally never happens. A lot of people standing around like this. We were shaking moves. So why do I say that? Is that we have lots of different languages represented in hip hop. There are lots of different elements that are inside hip hop culture. It's not just about rapping. You can do beatboxing, you can do breakdancing, there's graffiti, there's street knowledge. There's lots of different ways that you can get involved. And so that's the idea behind our talk, is that there are as many ways to get involved in the cloud native ecosystem as there are people who are able to do it. So we'll be referring to different examples, specifically from the Indian ecosystem. You've been hearing lots of stats, the number of contributions, all the different CNCF cloud native community groups that are here based in India, all the ambassadors. These are some of the points that we're going to be touching on, but bringing them to life with real life examples of people that you know or may not know, including some people that are here in this room with us right now. To take it a little bit further, reflecting on my religious studies background, this concept of elements, let's continue our lesson of Indian culture. I want to know from you a couple of key vocabulary words that I learned a long time ago when I was in university. And when I say a long time ago, it was like 17 years ago. So real quick, what's Shakti? Good. Power or strength. All right. What's Yukti? Wisdom, skills. All right. What about Bhakti? Devotion. All right, so we can talk about consistency, being persistent, not giving up, understanding the long-term sort of focus. And then we'll get to the last word, which is mukti. What's that? Good, salvation. All right, so the first three lead us to the fourth. I think that's what's pretty clear, right? Salvation, freedom, this is what we're all going for. Like I said, we don't have to look too far to find these examples. A lot of them are very much in this room and very much in the own culture that you've grown up with. So like I said, it's about empowerment, thinking about these different elements and how they come together. There's not one path to success in the cloud native ecosystem, all right? These are the things that we're going to be touching on. Next slide. Cool. We got through that. Good, good, good. Take it away.
So a question for you all. When was CNCF founded? Anyone?
Who thinks it's A?
Okay, 15. So yeah, correct. I see a lot of you are not quite involved. Can we talk in binary today? A 0 if you're awake and a 1 if you're hungry. Okay, we'll be concluding soon. Don't worry, we won't. Okay. So CNCF, which is under the parent foundation, Linux Foundation, was founded in 2015. How many projects are there in the CNCF landscape? Any guesses? No.
Too many. Too many.
Quite precise. OK, let's not keep guessing. So at present, at this very moment, there are 208 projects in the vast ecosystem of ours, and still counting on.
Great.
OK, so over 200, but 208 to be precise. Precision is important. How many people are there on the CNCF Slack? Is anyone here who is not on the CNCF Slack?
Get in there.
Yeah?
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Oh, cool. That's good. That's a really good thing. This is a great opportunity. Get in there. And if you're not sure about who to talk to one of the two of us, and we'll be happy to get you situated. Good? Let's just take a look. That's a lot of people.
There are 136K members. OK, so let's talk about the Cloud Native community groups and the Cloud Native ambassadors that we have in India. Would anyone like to share what do you know about Cloud Native community groups? Has
anybody attended a Cloud Native community group meetup? Anybody? All right. We got some that have. For the rest of you that have not, as you can see, there are lots of different ways that you can get involved, right? There are 37. It's pretty simple. Go to the CNCF website or just type in Google Cloud Native Community Groups India, and you can see all the different local meetups that are happening. If there is not a local CNCG in your area, you can start one. You can find other like-minded people, see what's necessary to get those to get that up and running, and you can also make that happen. In terms of ambassadors, 39 ambassadors. If you go to CNCF ambassadors, you can also see where they are based on your area, and you can get in touch with those people. It's much easier if you're in the CNCF Slack, or you can try Kubernetes Slack, LinkedIn, et cetera. But these people are here to help you out, help you get plugged into the ecosystem.
Do we have any ambassadors here?
Any ambassadors? I'm an ambassador, so I'm very honored to be the one ambassador in the room. That's good.
OK.
Cool. In terms of other ways that people can get involved, we have the technical advisory groups. So for example, there are, and I know sometimes the acronyms can be a little bit challenging or just a lot to keep track of, but we have the tags, all right? So technical advisory groups could be things related to app delivery. We could have, depending on your interests, all right? So a lot of it is thinking about going back to our keywords from Hindi, is thinking about skills, power, yukti. All right. So what are the things that you're good at? Based on that, you'll probably want to find something that's related to that. You may have heard in the keynotes, Arun was talking about, and some of the others were speaking about the AI working group. Right. So a working group is taking something from a larger mission and getting it more, we can say, on the ground where people can get directly involved. So working groups are places where you can do that. I'll explain a little bit more about my journey, but I got started because of ContribX, contributor experience. I was in the upstream marketing group, and that's how I got connected to a lot of folks from all over the world. It basically came down to attending a meeting, all right? Didn't have to have a ton of technical requirements. Like I said previously, I've never written a line of code in my life. These groups are insistingly welcome, all right? Like, you will definitely be welcome no matter what your experience. If you say, I just want to attend the meeting so I can learn, that's fine, all right? No one will expect anything else from you. A really basic prerequisite in all of this is just be nice, right? Be friendly, pay it forward, and other people will do the same thing. We can keep going. Good. Yeah, so like I said, this is how the hierarchy works with this. Tag's more overarching. There's a tag also for sustainability. If that's something that you're interested in as well. There are lots of different topics. A lot of this starts with, first of all, a personal reflection about the things that you're interested in, the things that you're good at, the things that you want to pursue, and then it will become easier. We saw previously over 200 projects. That can feel really overwhelming. It becomes less overwhelming when you start figuring out, what are the things that I've done before? What are the programming languages that I've worked with? Do I like working with documentation? Based on that, the process will be much smoother and much easier. All right? We can keep going.
Adding to that, there is a brand new working group for non-code contributions. So all things non-code, if anyone wants to get involved, we can chat about it later on.
Good.
OK.
Have at it.
So I see that a lot of you are not on CNCF Slack. So a very good way to start with your contributions is, of course, getting involved in the project repositories on GitHub. So, oops.
Oh no, we missed a meme. Very important.
Okay, the moment I started, it was because of asking a lot of questions to a lot of different people that I used to look up to, or like following them on tech Twitter, interacting them within their live sessions, their tech talks. This is how I got started. But asking questions is important, but asking the right questions is even more important, I believe. So, like, imagine in your school, you just don't go to your teacher and ask that, oh, I want to score 100 in exam, tell me how do I do that. You read your chapters, pick a topic where you're facing some issues, you ask those questions, right? So that's how it works. Similarly, whatever project you're targeting to contribute to, just go to the project repositories, read their documentations, and like get your research done beforehand, before just popping out with random questions. As Sheldon says, if anyone is a BBT fan here. So, our very own gigantic landscape. I know it feels like a bit overwhelming at first for everyone, and especially for newcomers. You just are puzzled up with so many tools, tools to manage tools, and whole toolistan, we can say. So, how do we get over this? CNCF has got a solution to this problem, which is the CNCF trail map. So you head on to the CNCF trail map. It will explain you what different areas of tools we have, how you can decide upon which area you want to contribute to, what's your niche, or where you can provide the value that from the skills that you have. Okay. Now I found a project, but how do I contribute? How do I know where to start, how to find which one is suitable for my tech stack? So CNCF has got a very nice tool, which is called the Contributor. So Contributor is your one-way stop to get started with any kind of issues. There we have a very good filter to put on. You can filter based on the maturity of the project, whether it is sandboxed or it is incubating and stuff. Well, that's a whole different discussion. But you can find the kind, and even based on the difficulty level. So I see a lot of beginners. So you can filter out the low-hanging fruits, the good first issues, the issues that are good for beginners. Every repositories have them. And if there are not those issues, you can try reaching out to maintainers. So, and also you can filter based on the tech stack as well. Here I have filtered based on Java. Okay. So the first step is joining Slack community. For the people who have not joined yet, please do so. We will provide the link, and you can just come up for checking out. And okay, sorry. Find a project that we have already done and go introduce yourself. So about the introduction, try to make it crisp and clear. You don't have to tell your family history or your 12th grade.
Dietary restrictions or food allergies. Yeah, it's
yeah, and how you got hit with a flying chappal by your mom. No one wants to know, right? So next would be, okay, I have got a project that is suitable for me. I have found some issues, good, from the contributor. What is the next step? Go through the documentation. Okay, we keep hearing this a lot, and many of us hate reading documentation, but this is how it works, right? So about the documentation, I would say what I did was, firstly, just go on to the project repository. First step should be to go to the README file, which gives a brief overview of the whole project. You can get to know where you can find the project community, how you can interact with the current contributors. And nextly, I would say go to the contributing guidelines. Each organization, each repository has their own contributor guidelines. They would like a certain way of putting on your PRs. So it is suggested to follow that. And then go to the project documentation. And also, in case you're confused, you can just go reach out to maintainers. Maintainers are the people who look after the project, who review your PRs, and who are doing all the stuff behind the scenes making the project work. So in case you are confused, you are having some issues, just go to them. But also, going to ask the maintainer, what kind of questions would you ask? Hey, I want to raise a PR that would cause a merge conflict, or hello, I just want to create some 2-3 issues about a typo. No, right? Please, the maintainers here, don't kill me for putting up these ideas. But asking questions about specific issues is much recommended. Whatever you are going through, let's say you are not able to find the existing test. So that could be a good question. Asking about some dependencies or something that is not working for you on your local while setting up the project.
Sorry.
Such questions are much appreciated and would be answered more quickly as compared to broad level questions. So try making your question specific again. And the final step would, okay, you've got your PRs, you've got your contributions sorted. But what next? The ultimate goal of any open source community is to make the project sustain, help it grow, and get as many people, as many contributors involved. So for that, we need to share our learnings. That's what we are all here for. Talking about KubeCon, it is the epitome of diversity, community, collaboration, everything. So you can share and pay it forward to in many ways. Be it blogs, be it just simply asking your friend to join your open source community, helping them start out the way you started. So all these are the ways that you can just share what you've learned. And yeah, then the happiness of getting your PRs merged is soon coming your way. Okay, educating the community and learning in public. So this is something which I have always learned from Bart, and I don't think anyone could explain this better than him.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay, so we've been there, done that, right? I really used to see all these bios, and I always used to think, okay, this person is an open source enthusiast, this person is an machine learning enthusiast, and everyone is enthusiastic about something, but what am I doing? But let me tell you that just doing this is not going to be enough. When we say that learning in public, it is not about making all of what you are getting into your head public. It's not like putting everything onto social media. It is about providing value. Whatever you are learning, let's say, for example, this is Kunal's post. He has been learning about a to-do CLI app. He has been building something. And whatever he is learning, he is just putting it in brief for others to get started or others to get inspired. Similarly, as I mentioned, I attended the Data on Kubernetes Explorers Day. So there, interacting live with the presenters, with the community people, sharing whatever you are learning and asking each other questions always helps. Next, this is also a part of a community initiative. So if you guys don't know about the Soda Foundation, you should definitely go check that out too, because it is also under the Linux Foundation. Okay. Getting mentored. So open source is a lot about getting mentored, finding your niche, and getting on to learn from the people who have already been doing that in the best possible way for forever. So these are some of the programs, some of the well-known programs. First one being the Google Summer of Code, and both the programs, the Summer of Code and the Season of Dogs, these are annual programs. These are organized once a year. with the GSoC, you can directly contribute to the repositories that are listed under the Linux organization. And in this Zero to Merge program, I would like to share, since there are a lot of beginners here, I would suggest to definitely apply to this program. As the title says, it helps you to get started from zero and make your own contribution, raise your first PR, and get it merged. LFX mentorship is, again, another very good mentorship program. It is not annual. It runs 3 times a year, spring, fall, and summer. So you can check this out. There are a couple of good projects every cohort. And then comes the Kubernetes release team shadow program. So as we heard in the keynote today, the Kubernetes releases a new version every 4 months. So the release shadow program is for the beginners and for everyone in the community, of course. Here you can assist, not assist kind of, but you can learn from the community how the release is done. Releasing each version requires a lot of efforts, and I would say collective efforts of different members of the community. So here you can be into the comms team, you can be in the release notes team. There are various areas where you can contribute to a release. So I would definitely recommend checking this program out. Engaging and supporting community. So recently, Bart went to a CNCG meetup, and there people have given him a title of the mitochondria of events, because he is definitely the powerhouse that brings all the energy and vibe to wherever he goes. So engaging and supporting community is all about acknowledging what others are helping you with, what you want to help people, and this definitely goes a long way, because who doesn't wants to hear good about themselves, right? Okay. So what are the minimum prerequisites? Bart, would you like to share something?
Yeah, absolutely. So things that we mentioned previously, a lot of it comes down to having a positive attitude. Some of this stuff is going to be challenging. Some of it you will find frustrating. Some of it will make you want to tear your hair out and cry and say, why am I doing this? That's totally normal, all right? That's not a big deal. What's really important, like I said, which is why we mentioned from the very beginning, thinking of this concept of devotion, all right? It's going to take time. I equate this, how many of you speak more than one language? Probably everybody here, yeah. Learning a language takes time, all right? When I moved to Spain, I'm originally from the United States. I've been living in Spain for the last 13 years. When I moved to Spain, I didn't know any Spanish, right? So in the beginning, I knew very, very, very basic words, but because of watching TV, listening to the radio, reading the newspaper, and going to interact with people, I started to make progress, right? Of course, I made tons of mistakes along the way. Tons of mistakes, right? Lots of learning opportunities. This is no different, right? The more you're in contact with it, and the more that you make community part of your solution, whether it's through a cloud native community group, whether it's with attending meetings online, interacting with people, these are the things that are going to help. All right, so can we check out the next slide? Yeah, so like I said, positive attitude, number one. It is helpful to have a basic understanding of Git and GitHub, and if you don't, that's something that you want to work on more, you can also get support for those particular elements too in the CNCF. How to make good pull requests and raise issues. If you have familiarity with Go, Rust, or Python, it's helpful, but once again, not a must. As Anushka was mentioning, there's now an entire channel focused on non-code contributors for people that want to do other things. Cloud Native Glossary, these are all really, really good starting points. Just know that no one is expecting you to learn Kubernetes or any of the CNCF projects in a week, in a month. There's no deadline on any of this stuff, right? Enjoy the process. Don't be hard on yourself. I want to bring up another word. What does the word ahimsa mean? Nonviolence, right? Nonviolence towards other, but also nonviolence towards yourself. Don't be super hard on yourself expecting that you're going to become an expert on all this in 6 minutes. This stuff takes time, all right? But what's really cool is you get to enjoy the process with other people that are very creative, that are very passionate, that are like-minded along the way. Some of whom will be from your own country, and others will be from lots of other countries. When people ask me, why are you so motivated? Why are you so energetic? For me, the answer is really simple. I love what I do because I get to interact with amazing, incredibly smart people who have lots of different life experiences and give me a ton of wealth and richness in terms of how I see the world, how I solve problems, and how I interact with people. So like I said, Rome wasn't built in a day. I don't think the Taj Mahal was built in a day either, or maybe it was. But what I mean is that enjoy the process. Treat this as something that you're going to be doing for a very, very long time. And no one is putting a gun to your head expecting insane, crazy results in 2 minutes, all right? The danger of what Anushka was mentioning earlier of just cloud native enthusiasts, or sometimes we see people on LinkedIn putting Kubernetes expert, and then we ask them, oh, so what have you done? Well, I checked out the documentation. It's like, to be an expert, it might take a little bit longer. And that's okay, all right? It's not a competition. It's not a race. And what you really need to enjoy are the elements that we've been enjoying this week in KubeCon here in person. Like I said, all the other interactions that we can have online, all right? Let's keep going. Good. Now we're going to look at some examples. There are too many examples to mention. Do you know this person who's in the middle right now when we're speaking about examples?
Woo!
Yeah, don't hide. Can you introduce yourself on the microphone, sir?
Hey everyone, I did not expect to be put in the spot here. My name is
We've
Ram.
been planning this for weeks. No.
My name is Ram. I work with a bunch of different open source communities. I especially focus in communities around India. Happy to be introduced in the best manner possible at this event.
Very, very good. Let's give Ram a round of applause. Even if you don't know him, he's a perfect example of someone who's extremely involved in the local community as well as the international broader community, all right? Ram is working with both Cloud Foundry and OpenSSF. Did any of you attend the SOS Day the other day? Yeah, it was a really good event. And Ram put a lot of work into that, so he made that happen. But like I said, there are tons of examples all around you. You don't need to look any further. This is why we mentioned in the beginning, you have 39 ambassadors. You have 37 cloud native community groups. You have every reason to believe that you can do it by reaching out to these folks who are more than happy to help you. They're waiting, they're excited to help you. We want people to contact us to ask us questions, right? Don't be afraid. The same thing that Anushka mentioned. If you want to be mentored, and let's say you don't qualify or you apply late for GSoC or some of these other programs, there are other more informal ways to get mentored as well. So don't feel like you have to be alone and suffer in silence, all right? Let's keep going. You take it away, Anushka.
So here we feature some cloud native stars from India. First is Atul. So Atul is the organizer at CNCF Hyderabad, and of course the next KubeCon is going to be held in Hyderabad. So we are going to be seeing a lot of work from the CNCG Hyderabad. And do you know that CNCG Hyderabad started with 60 members, and now it is grown to 1,600. So like just in 2 years. How huge is that? That is an accomplishment in itself. And he is also a part of the platform working group.
From engineering, it's a great place to go to get connected with other like-minded folks.
Yeah, definitely. And one more thing about Atul, he does a lot of blogging. And if you're interested in just not all things tech, everything about Hyderabad, if you want to know about it, feel free to reach out to him. Next up, we have Akansha. Akansha is the DevRel at Empathy Ops, which is a remote job for her, I guess. And she is also an organizer at KubeHuddle. And she has been a super helpful person, always ready to help people get their way through, one of them being me. I have recently interacted with her, and trust me, if you want to get started, she's a really good person that you can reach out to. Next up, we have Faika. She is currently an SWE at Equity. And she has also spoken at a lot of KubeCons previously. She couldn't be here to do her exams, but she has been a community star. A lot of student communities that I've been a part of, she has been a part of. If you want to see how to start getting involved, I really recommend that you should go through her journey. She has been phenomenal with all of her contributions. So
good.
Shout out to Faika.
Absolutely.
And next up, we have some resources that you can check out for getting started. First one being Cube Simplify. A lot of quality content around different projects. They have one playlist called CNCF in minutes, something related. I'm not remembering the name exactly, but it will explain you different projects in a few minutes, like 10 to 15 minutes. A lot of quality content is waiting for you on Cube Simplify. Go check it out. Next, we have CubeFM. CubeFM has a lot of hardcore technical stuff you want to get to know about. Any of the Kubernetes specific things, you just head to CubeFM. And Kubernetes podcast from Google. This is also a very great resource. I also, when I was beginning, I heard a podcast by Priyanka, who was a part of the keynote today. So I really got inspired from that, and definitely it helped me getting started. Next up, we have CodeCloud. CodeCloud also has a lot of content, a lot of hands-on labs that you can try on CodeCloud. They're also on YouTube, so definitely go check it out. Women in Cloud Native is a community which is focused on women that are in Cloud Native. And when we talk about women in Cloud Native, I really want to mention, recently they had this Navratri series in which each day they took up different topics in Cloud Native, which was also co-organized by Ram, I guess. So definitely, all the women here, I would love you to have there, and we can hopefully organize the next event together.
Oops.
Oh, I'm skipping a lot.
That's okay. That's fine. You're good. So yeah, if you want to follow us, we're really easy to find. Something that I've been doing with a lot of folks here too is that I know that KubeCon we don't have as much time as we'd like to have. So if you connect with me on LinkedIn, please, if you do so, like leave a message of explaining like where you saw me or where you met, or saying that you would like to speak, because then I'll send you my Calendly link. We can book a time for 15 minutes, and I can hear more about the stuff that you're doing. I'm not guaranteeing that I'll have all the answers, but what I always say is that I don't know, I will know someone who does, right? To get you pointed in the right direction and to get things moving. And likewise with Anushka, it's painfully easy to find us. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, we're on Blue Sky, we're on Slack. I'm not going to give you my phone number, but like I said, it's really, really easy to get in touch. If I don't get back to you the same day, or maybe give me a little bit of time, because a lot of things are kind of crazy right now with traveling, getting close to the holidays, but would be more than happy to. Do not suffer in silence. If you're not sure about something, you're probably not the first person to not be sure about it, all right? So don't worry about that. Same thing goes for Anushka. If you want to check her out, you got the QR code here to follow her on LinkedIn. She's also very active. So like I said, we want to be as accessible as possible, as open as possible. Same thing. Check out the ambassador's website to see who you can get in touch with in your local area. I will also address this question. Is anybody interested in becoming an ambassador? Okay, this is where a lot of hands come up. So this is one of the most frequent questions that I get about how can I become a CNCF ambassador. This morning at the ambassador's breakfast, Katie Greenlee, who runs the program, she was explaining that, and I agree with this very much, being an ambassador is just doing stuff that you would be doing whether or not you are an ambassador, right? So that could be contributing to a lot of different open source projects. It could be being a maintainer to open source projects. It could be because of running a local meetup group or creating content, things like that. In my case, that's what it was about. In 2020, I was doing 2 to 3 live streams every week. Someone told me, hey, you should apply to be an ambassador. I didn't even know the program existed. I applied. I didn't get in the first time. I kept up with what I was doing in terms of my contributions of organizing events, online, podcasts, et cetera, and the second time that I applied, I got in. So that's, like I said, that was my experience. If you want more information, the CNCF has all this stuff listed online in terms of how you can become an ambassador, but it's not so much about becoming an ambassador. It's just about doing good things that you're interested in, that you're passionate about. Becoming an ambassador is just kind of like an extra step or an extension of that. But it really comes down to things that you would be doing, whether or not you're an ambassador or not, all right? So like I said, that's a question that I get a fair amount. Cool. Now, to continue this conversation further, Anushka and I are going to have a session next week so that all of you can share your experiences, the things that you're interested in contributing to, and we can do sort of a group mentoring session. So here we have a sign-up form, and we'll be sending more details next week when I get back to Spain. It'll probably be next week on Thursday, like a week from today. And that way we can do this sort of out in the open, because a lot of you will probably have similar doubts and questions, and that way we can address them as a group. Okay? Cool?
I hope you've scanned the QR. Does anyone else?
If not, yeah, we'll be sharing the slides online too, so everyone will get a chance to follow this. And also, like I said, on our LinkedIn and Twitter, personally speaking, we'll be sharing this too.
So here we come to the end of what we had on plate. I see a lot of new contributors coming on. So can we get a quick cheer or something? Who's going to contribute?
Yeah, good.
Woo!
Very dangerous.
Oh, well. But we have a surprise for you.
I really got to double check. Do you really want us to rap? Yes. Okay, because I gotta say. All right, I don't come to India every day, all right, or every week. So being here, like I said, it's really an honor to share this space with you, to share the collective energy. It's also been amazing to share the stage with Anushka. Before she raps, because she's never rapped before in front of a group of people, can we just give her some credit for all the work that she put into this? She's a fucking good speaker. So in order to do this, all right, we were thinking about which kind of beat we wanted to use. I make hip-hop beats and things like that, but we think it's better actually to do this collectively as an audience, all right? So you are going to be our beat, all right? And that's no pressure, all right? All we need you to do is clap, all right, at a simple rhythm, all right, so that Anushka can start her rhymes. And then if I get my throat correctly adjusted, then maybe I just might jump in, all right? So can we mark a beat for Anushka? All right, let's get ready. A little bit slower. I know that Bollywood music can get really fast. Let's tone it down for the Gora on stage. We'll keep it easy. So we'll just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go for it, Anushka.
Yo, let me tell you about Bart, the dude with this spark from Santa Rosa. He's been shining from the start. The powerhouse of events here, mitochondria vibes. At KubeCons worldwide, his energy thrives. From Chicago stages to the iso-violent flow, rapping at the party, always stealing the show. It's the people who shaped him his quick to thank. A heart full of gratitude, no room for blank. 2025 goals, oh, he's got his mind clear. Spanish content popping, helping beginners persevere. Kubernetes is his jam, favorite project, no doubt. A ton of kindness, patience, passion, he's all about. So here's to Bart with his mic and his heart. Making waves in open source, yeah, he's a class apart. So let's give it up for the CNCF's rock star. Bart Farrell's the name, ain't nobody greater.
Woo! That was really good. Am I expected to top that? I don't think so. Can you guys give me a beat then too? All right? I might need my sunglasses. All right? It's getting serious. I may need to take my jacket off. It's getting really serious.
Woo!
All right, that's the only thing I'm taking off. Cool. I like to move around, so I'm going to do that, all right? But yeah, can we get a beat again? Oh, wow, we're getting faster. Okay. 1. Oh, this is exciting. A little bit faster. 1, 2, 3 into the 4. I'm in the deadly city, you know, I'm knocking at your door. I got the Kubernetes, got the Luger heavy, got these nightmares, Freddy Krueger Rachetti. You know I'm standing on stage at Anushka's game. You know I'm bringing downtown and taking your fame. I got chicken curry, got tikka masala. You know I'm rolling a straight street baller from the Cali city, living in Spain. You know I jump around like the house of pain. You know I'm fooling the mic. You know I'm bringing it night. You know I shoes on my feet. You know I'm taking your sight. You know I'm blinding these eyes and I ain't got skies and I ain't got lies because they're breaking my ties. I say, yo, CNCF, open source. We standing on the stage, you call us open force. Bring it together, yo, India style. I'll see you next in Hyderabad and I'll bring it some wild. Thank you very much, everybody. Shukriya. Dhanyavad. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been wonderful. I hope to interact with all of you as much as possible. We'll see you all next week. Thank you very much.